Hey everyone, it's Leo with Dreaming Tree, and in this video I'm going to walk you through how to set up your Siser Juliet for paper cutting. We'll go step by step from plugging it in to running your very first test cut. I've shot some very detailed close-ups so you won't miss a thing. Let's get started. Now this part's simple, but still important to mention. You want to make sure that you plug in your power cable, then connect the USB cable to your computer. That's it. Now in part one, we're going to set the pinch rollers. The Juliet comes with 3 pinch rollers because it's designed to cut vinyl without a mat. But for paper crafting, we're using a cutting mat, and that means we want to disengage the middle roller to avoid warping it. So here's what to do. 1, disengage the middle roller by removing the spring. Each pinch wheel has 2 springs, and here I'm using just some needle nose pliers, grabbing the round portion at the bottom, pulling down, and then releasing each side. So there's going to be 2 of them, and you can just sort of let them hang there. So now that we've disengaged the middle roller, we're going to lift the pinch rollers using the pinch roller release lever. So in order to lift the pinch rollers, you're going to take the little lever and pull it down. As you do that, you'll notice that the pinch rollers rise up. I found that moving the blade carriage out of the way makes it a lot easier to access that left pinch roller, so you can feel free to do that. So what we want to do here is slide the left and right pinch rollers outward so they line up with the edges of your cutting mat. The right pinch roller is going to go pretty much as far as you can push it over to the right, and make sure the left roller aligns with the mat guide. It's this little line here, which serves as a great visual cue for loading your mat straight. And make sure that both rollers sit directly above the grit rollers. Those are the textured metal rollers that grip and feed your material. At this point, you can raise the lever to lower the pinch wheels down. So at this point, we can go ahead and test it out. You're going to take your mat and feed it in using the little guide line on the left-hand side, and push it in until both sides hit both the left and right pinch wheels, at which point you can go ahead and feed it in by hitting the up arrow. It should feed smoothly without skewing or lifting. So that's perfect. Your mat is aligned and ready to go. Next, we're going to talk about the blade installation and pressure settings. So to set up your blade holder, also known as the blade housing, first place your blade inside the holder. Now, adjust the blade depth knob so that just the very tip of the blade sticks out. Just enough that if you hold a piece of cardstock up next to it, the blade's tip goes just slightly above the edge of the cardstock. Now, I personally set mine slightly deeper than that so I can also cut heavier materials like glitter or foil cardstock without needing to readjust every time. Just make sure your test cuts don't leave deep grooves in your mat. A light scratch is fine, but it shouldn't cut through. Now, once you've got the right depth, tighten the locking ring to secure your setting so it doesn't shift during cutting. Next, we're going to place the blade holder into the cutting machine's carriage. Now, when you tighten the blade housing into place, make sure that the little red lip at the bottom is not visible. The holder should sit flush against the clamp. If you can still see that red ring, it means the housing isn't fully seated yet. Now let's set the origin point for your cuts. Take a scrap piece of paper that's the same weight as what you plan to use, and place it on your cutting mat and load the mat into the machine until it's almost all the way in. With the Juliet, we always start our cuts at the bottom left corner of the mat. Now, this may feel a little backwards if you're used to other machines, but it'll become second nature after a few projects. Try to get as close as possible to the 0, point, but don't stress if it's not exact. Now, over time, the more you use the machine, the more it'll sort of become a muscle memory as to how long you hold that load button to get it to almost the perfect spot. Unfortunately, there's no quick way to load it in that perfect origin each time, but as you continue to use the machine, it'll sort of become second nature and not a big deal. Now in this next part, we're going to set the test cutting pressure. Now before you cut your actual projects, let's make sure your pressure settings are dialed in. Now your cutting software, whether that's Sure Cuts a Lot or Siser's Leonardo Design Studio, will usually override these settings. But for a quick manual test, we can adjust the pressure and speed directly on the Juliet's interface. So with the machine on, press the Cut Settings button on the main screen and set your cut speed to somewhere around 6 to 8. I usually keep mine at about 8. Then set your pressure to 50. Tap the back button in the upper left corner. Now go ahead and load your mat if it's not loaded already, and make sure you have your blade origin set, and then tap Test Cut to perform a small sample cut. If your cut looks clean and just grazes the mat, you're all set. Now this part's simple, but still important to mention. Once we've gone through all of these steps, you want to make sure that you plug in your power cable, then connect the USB cable to your computer. That's it. Your next step is to connect your machine with your design software, whether that's Sure Cuts a Lot or Leonardo Design Studio, and start creating. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you'll be cutting first. Happy crafting.